Cops of Reddit, what is the creepiest thing to happen on the job? This video contains material that some may find disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised. My dad used to work as a correctional officer at Goulburn Jail in Australia, which is probably one of the oldest and hardest prisons there. He said that the whole place was creepy, and it did not help that some of the inmates at the time included the notorious Ivan Milat, on which Wolf Creek is based. Anyway, the first thing he noticed was that dogs would outright refuse to enter the prison. He said they couldn't get them past the gate no matter how hard they tried. But the creepiest occurrence was one night when they heard the sound of running booted footsteps. Everyone was in their cell, so they couldn't figure out what was causing it. The next thing was all the doors of the open and unoccupied cells on the top floor were banged shut, one after the other with loud clangs. Then they see the source of the running noise. Now, my dad swears this is what he and his colleagues saw. Apparently, they looked up and saw what looked like disembodied hobnail boots run down the aisle right over their heads, banging as they went. Dad decided to stop working in the prison not long after this. I hear the other guy on my beat get dispatched to a well-being check of an elderly lady. A few minutes later, they dispatched me to the lady's house. I get there and the supervisor asks me to climb in through an unsecured window at the back of the house because I'm smaller. I get to the window and tell it's to the bedroom. I can hear a loud television on in another room. I yell out, "Police! Does anyone need help?" As I climb in through the window, I hear an old raspy voice call, "Here." I ran out of the bedroom and down the hall to where I heard the voice call. From the living room, I see a lady lying face down in the dining room area. I call out for her, "Ma'am, did you fall? Where are you hurt?" I run to her, but she is not moving. I touch her hand, and it is ice cold. She's been dead for a few days. I unlocked the door and let the supervisor and another officer in. I told them I heard a voice and we needed to check the whole house. No one else was in there. I know the TV was on, but I could tell it was the news and heard the voice over it. Who the f*** did I hear? I have a family member who works in narcotics in the California desert. He told me this story about the ghost car. He was chasing someone on a major highway with lights, sirens, and everything. The guy he was chasing turns off his lights, swerves into the desert, and just disappears. He called out for another officer to help him find the missing car. The tracks lead into the desert for a short while, but then the tracks suddenly disappear. They had a few officers poking around the area, but nothing ever came of it. Never found the car. Strangely enough, this isn't the first time nor the last time this has happened. Ghost cars are apparently pretty common among Mexican drug gangs. They theorized that there's some kind of hidden underground drug lair out there somewhere, but nobody's ever found anything. My friend is a cop in a major Canadian city. One night when we were supposed to go out after his shift, he decided to pick me up in his cop car, since he had almost finished his shift and was just going to drop the car back at the depot. On the way, though, he got a call that someone was complaining about noises coming from their basement that sounded like a person, so he decided to make that his last stop. I was told to wait in the car while he talked with the homeowner and checked it out. He was gone for about half an hour before he came back, and had this terrified face on him. Apparently, the homeowner was hearing loud thuds from his basement for a couple of weeks, but on the day of the call, they were really loud. The basement is all dark and the lights need to be turned on from the electrical panel. They get to the panel and my friend says he saw something in the corner of his eye. He turns around, and at the end of a hallway that leads to a cold storage, he sees a guy facing the door of the cold storage, just standing there. He yells at the guy to turn around, but he doesn't. The homeowner sees him too and is really scared. My friend asks the guy to turn around once more before hitting the switch for the lights, and the guy at the cold storage just disappears when the lights come on. My friend swore that he searched every inch of that basement and could not find anyone else. The homeowner is shaken up and says he's going to stay with a friend for a night. My friend then calls another cop to surveil the house to see if anyone tries to enter the main house or basement. Not sure what happened after, but my friend swears he saw someone in that basement. We responded to a burglary alarm at a mortuary and found that one of the rear doors was left open. The policy now dictates that the entire building needs to be cleared to confirm that it was a false alarm, which most are. It's the middle of the night and totally dark. We use flashlights and never turn on lights. We walk into one of the rooms and see a body on a table. It appeared that it was waiting to be processed, possibly embalmed, by the mortician. It smelled like a mildly decomposing body. Suddenly, I see a shadow to my right, and I shine my light there and find nothing out of the ordinary. I immediately smell a really strong whiff of perfume blowing by me. The search was completed more expeditiously than normal after that. Nothing was found. I was monitoring a stop sign late at night, somewhere around 2 and 3 a.m. The area was notoriously known for a gruesome murder that was still unsolved. While sitting there, I noticed something shoot across the back of my car in my rearview mirror. As I was looking in the mirror trying to see what was behind my car, the black shadow shot up the driver's side and then across the front of my car. Creeped out, I realized it was time to get the f*** out of there and gunned it down the road. Our video cameras in the car are set to turn on automatically at certain speeds, so it is turned on. I decided to review the camera to see if something really did cross in front of my car. During the point where something should have gone in front of my car, the camera went completely dark, like something blocked the lens. Needless to say, I don't monitor that stop sign anymore. This is unexplained, and probably just a coincidence, but I still never mention it to my coworkers. I spent some time as a homicide investigator. We would respond to all apparent suicides and investigate them just to make sure it wasn't a homicide. Usually we determine a motive for suicide and find a note or other indicator that the person killed themselves. But occasionally you get a case where all forensic evidence indicates that the person killed themselves, but there's no note and no discernible reason why this person would be suicidal. These are people in good health with decent careers and a seemingly happy family life, but who knows what's really going on with someone? Now here's the part that freaks me out. I've worked maybe 10 suicides like this. The last 3 before I left homicide all had the same thing at the scene. There was a little decorative wicker lighthouse at each location. It was the same lighthouse, the same design, and painted white and blue. It stuck out to me the first time because it was by the bed where the body was. But 2 weeks later, I saw the same damn lighthouse on another suicide and even pointed out the coincidence to a patrol officer. A few months later, I go on another suicide and I see that same wicker lighthouse. That's when it clicks that it's always been unexplained suicides. I go back and look at crime scene photos from every suicide I've worked on. In 2 of them, I see what could be the wicker lighthouse, but the angle is off and there's too much junk around to say for sure. I thought it was creepy as hell, but I transferred a couple of months later and I let it go. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to my channel for more content like this. This is Reddit Story Hour. Stay curious, stay kind, and see you in the next video.